Update 2.0 is out, and it's a little bit different than some of us were expecting. Instead of the grand multiplayer update we might have built up in our minds, this update is better defined by the new implementation of an interactive storyline, which is both intriguing and a lot of fun. Altogether, this update has a massive 73 changes. The first change is that they transferred the whole game from a single player to a multiplayer platform. This might not seem like that big of a deal to us as players since there's not a whole lot that is different in our end, but this represents a crazy amount of work from the developers as they had to essentially reprogram the game into its new multiplayer context, which of course enables the possibility of having future multiplayer updates. I asked one of the devs if they used the technology of Last Day on Earth or Frostborn in creating their multiplayer platform, and he responded that they built their platform from scratch. So I do not know if their multiplayer platform will be as good as Frostborn's, but I do know that the devs of Grim Soul have a reputation for creating quality work. After that, they did go ahead and make 6 multiplayer changes. You can now build a level 1 sanctuary, which lets you apply to join an order. Then if you upgrade your sanctuary to level 2, you can create your own order, create a customizable emblem, add messages to your teammates, and promote them or kick them out. In order to upgrade your sanctuary to level 2, you need to find the blueprints, which can be found in the chest of red zones or at the Forbidden Dungeon. If you struggle with either of those areas, I have videos on the cheapest way to do both of those. You are not able to invite players to your order yet, so they will have to apply, and you cannot chat with them, but those options are coming soon. Most of the other changes have to do with the new interactive storyline. When you begin the game, you will start in Act 1. These quests will guide you through the game, but they will also unfold an intriguing storyline that includes an origin story. This storyline is really good and it has quite a few plot twists. I don't want to ruin the story for you, but I do want to give you some tips so that you know what to expect and are not surprised. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to go through it, but I'm not going to be as in-depth as usual so as to not ruin the experience. Currently, only the first 3 acts exist. The storyline reveals why you resurrect every time you die, and you start to realize how powerful it is, which explains why you receive letters from all sorts of different parties that are vying for your help. But the main thing you need to know is while the difficulty stays mostly the same within each act, the difficulty level jumps significantly between the different acts. So by the time you get to Act 3, you will want to be prepared when you show up to the events by bringing your best gear. Now, if you're an advanced player, you might be tempted to rush through the storyline. I would encourage you to go slowly. The story is designed to unfold as you are playing the game, and if you go too quickly, you might skip over some elements that make the game a better experience. So basically, savor the storyline and you will enjoy the game more. Also, I would encourage you not to watch a lot of videos on doing the different quests because it may inadvertently spoil one of the plot twists for you. I'm serious, the storyline is really good. Act 1 has 17 missions, Act 2 has 19, and Act 3 has 23. Many of these missions have their own locations, mini bosses, and NPCs that reveal more of the storyline. So in reality, these missions represent well over 100 changes, but I didn't know how to count them all, so I just chose to count the total number of missions themselves, which is 59. So that covers most of the changes, but in addition to these 66 changes, they made 7 more. They added the ability for you to connect the game with your Facebook account and offer 30 thalers if you do so. Leaves now fall off of trees when you chop them down. Arrows now get stuck in dungeon doors. Enemies guarding the chest in the final room of a dungeon now return to it if you run too far away from them. They made some improvements on how shadows render in the game. Enemies now visibly lose blood when you shoot them with ranged weapons. And then lastly, they added the possibility to see thunder and lightning when it is raining. Well, that's it guys. Hope that helps. If you saw something that we missed, please let me know in a comment below so that I can improve and others can see it. Also, please remember that YouTube does not pay a whole lot, so liking, subscribing, or supporting me on Patreon are all ways that you can help me make more content for you guys. Alright guys, I'll see you next time.